Oh, petti rosso. Yeah, the funny thing is that wherever you are, nature is common everywhere, is the same thing everywhere. So you can just close your eyes and you're gonna share the same sound in every other place that you are. You can think about home. I mean, cities, every city, I noticed that every city has different sounds, and of course because of the language, but also, you know, like cities are chaotic and they have a lot of noises. But then you go back to nature and it's just nature, and it's common everywhere. It's the same everywhere. Always beautiful. I feel like it changed so much through this year. My life changed so much, honestly, through this year, and it's myself. And if I change, it means that also the place that I have around changes, the perception of it. And so at first, home was, of course, Italy, like my house, my family, my friends. And I remember that I used to use any occasion to go back to Italy because I didn't want to actually accept my life in Paris. But I do remember that every time I was going to school, I was always passing through this garden, which is Jardin de Plantes. And I just remember that every time I was here, I was like having a moment of break from my thought and my life. I felt like everything who was really stressful, first moment it would just disappeared. I think something that really helped me to accept my life in a different country, even though it's not even that far. I noticed that I was I was seeing my social life and my the good things that I had just in Italy, and the rest of the thing responsibilities and obligation were in Paris. So I always felt like when I was going back to Rome, I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't even thinking about Paris. I wasn't thinking about my school, my responsibilities, and then I was going back to Paris in full anxiety, of course, because I was like, I don't want to go back. But then I realized that it's not actually the city, it's just me. I mean, it's just my being that it's moving from one city to another. It's not my responsibilities. It's me. I decide where to move there and where to put my priorities. So I started to realize that my priorities were also in France and in Italy as well. But I could work in Italy. I could see some friends in France. I realized that the people around me were actually my friends. And yeah, so that's also a thing that really helped me to accept it, realizing that my life is also here.
Yeah.
And it can be anywhere. For example, this year was the first year that I actually decided to go abroad instead of going back home for vacation, because my home is also Paris, so I should leave my home to go somewhere else. And I realized that I was not feeling far from my house. I was feeling alright because my house is there, and my also other house is in Paris, and nothing is. And it's not like I'm missing something. It's not like I'm losing touch with where I come from, and everything stays as I left it, of course. That nothing changes, everything is fine. If I can always go back to Italy and my family will still love me, my friends will still be there, and everything will still be the same. And the same will happen with Paris, because now I feel like this is also my house, my home. It really depends how you perceive it and how stable you are. And I became much more stable with myself. To answer to how do we get used to a place and how do we feel like home in a place, I think the answer is just time. Because it will arrive a moment where you will feel, you will find your own safety in a new place. And it will arrive, just take some time. Which is something I should have known at first, because I was just panicking so much about not getting used to the place I was. I was so afraid of it. And then, if I could have looked at myself behind back then, I would say to myself, it would change. You would realize how a place can be welcoming and how you can just fit in, because you can bring habits that you have from home. And I love to bring also new habits from France to Italy, some stuff that I do here, started to do here, I do it back then, and it's really cool. I can talk to my friend about it. It's also about sharing that really changes the thing, sharing with others what you used to do back then and what you do here.